everybody got mad at me in Tennessee. Everybody got pissed off at me because of a post I made saying Ja Morant is way overrated. And the reason why I made that post was because I was just blown away by the reaction to my original post about saying that they should consider blowing it up. The amount of Grizzlies fans in my mentions who were like, Ja Morant is still an all NBA caliber point guard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like he hasn't played in 3/4 of his games since 2021. It's been 4 years since then. It's been 3 years since he was at his peak. He very inconsistent shooter in the low 30s in his entire career. He got to the rim a career low percent of the time this past season. He's talked openly about how he can't dunk as much, and he doesn't. He had a career low amount of dunks as well. Ja has not developed as a shooter. He's a very good playmaker. He's a walking highlight reel, but he's not the top 10, top 15 guy he was at his peak. Did I go too far with saying he's the 40th to 50th best player, Dan?
Yeah, you went too far. It's too far. I mean, there's only 10 players in the league that average 23 points and at least 7 assists. Ja's one of them. His EPM, 3.5. That's top 25 in the league. So, yeah, he doesn't dunk as much. He's also coming off a torn labrum. You know, that stuff takes time to heal, get your rhythm back.
That's part of it. Always hurt.
It's fair.
Or suspended.
Hey, if he's not if we're talking reliability, he's not top 50. If we're talking talent and star power,
that is part of it. That is part of it. That's part of it. You have to be available.
It's a factor. It's a factor for sure. If
you're ranking like just peak, like just the peak player, like who he is when he's at his best on one particular night, Ja Morant will be much higher. He'd be in the top 10 to 15. But you have to value the lows of the player as well and what they are on a normal night as well. It can't just be the peaks unless that's what you want to rank. If you want to just rank peaks, fine by me. I would agree. Ja Morant, top 10 to 15 when he's at his best and when he's healthy, top 10 to 15. I would totally agree with that. No arguments from me.
I think I could settle in at like top 25 to 30. I don't think he's 15. Okay. But right, 25 to 30. When he plays 50 games, I think he is at that cusp. Like, I think you're talking about him as the potential and health concerns of like a Zion Williamson. Like, I have Zion way lower because I think he's way more unreliable than Ja. Ja, at least, yes, it's been a while since he's played over 50, 60 games. But when he is there, he shows up in the playoffs. I mean, actually, this playoff, he did have a hip contusion.
Yeah. Hurt again. All right. So I had hundreds of people responding saying, list 40 players better than Ja Morant. So let's do that right now. Let's do it right now. Right. Starting with my top 4. We're going to go through my top 4. Okay. Right. Jokic, SGA, Giannis, Luka. These are no questions. These 4 guys are, to me, the clear top 4 best players in the league. All right. Let's move on to tier 2 here.
I love that you did this.
Yes. Put it all together. Tatum, Edwards, Steph, LeBron, Wemby, Halliburton, Brunson, KD. Halliburton, maybe it's a little bit of recency bias here, but to me, this tier 2, these are the best players on the right night. Like, they can be the best player in the world on one particular night. Ant can be that guy. Steph Curry can be that guy. They can be the best player on a team, but they're not quite that top 4 level. Let's move on to tier 3. So these are the guys who I think are all NBA caliber guys. AD, I get at 13. I got Jalen Williams all the way up at 14. I had him on my All-NBA team. I think it's deserving after the regular season, more than deserving after his postseason, followed by Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Paolo Banchero, who showed up in the playoffs in a big way, Kawhi at 18, Jaylen Brown at 19, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Joel Embiid, hurt. You still got to respect the talent level. You still got to respect the talent level with him. Kawhi as well. Kawhi had a really good year.
A very good year. Really good year. He played what, 30 games?
He played in the playoffs. He got to the finish line. Good.
What did Joel make? What did Joel make it to? Like 19? How many games did he play? It's like, keep going.
Joel Embiid is a former MVP.
Yeah, with 2 bad knees. MVP. Broken orbital bone.
Bad back, broken everything, broken body.
All right. That's cool. All right.
Okay, let's move on to tier 4 here. I got Pascal Siakam leading this one, maybe a little bit too high. Chet, Cat, Bam, Şengün, Derek White, Jaren Jackson, James Harden, OG Anunoby, Aaron Gordon. This is where you start to get into some of these like high-level role player types, like who impact winning in a big way. The Derek White types, the Aaron Gordon guys, these OG Anunobys. These are some of the good to great players. Good to great. That tier continues as well at number 33. I got Kyrie there. I put on the injured guys. I kept Tatum earlier. I kept Kyrie. Franz Wagner, he's missing a jumper, but he has everything else. Jimmy Butler, Trey Murphy, Ivica Zubac, Damian Lillard, Jamal Murray, Rudy Gobert. There's 40. 41, Trae Young. 42, Desmond Bane. His elite shooting ability, to me, Bane is the better guy than Ja Morant today. Ja at his peak is obviously better than Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane. At his peak, obviously. But for now, I have Ja Morant in the following category, which is 14 guys next to De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey, LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, in no order, by the way. Drew Holiday, Austin Reeves, Draymond Green, Amen Thompson, Scotty Barnes, Zion Williamson, Julius Randle, Domantas Sabonis. This group, to me, Ja in this group, considering he doesn't play more than half the games, he is an inefficient shooter. He got to the rim a career low % of the time. He's a very inconsistent defender. He can't be relied on to stay healthy, stay on the floor. To me, this group has a lot of good players. A lot of good players in it. I don't think it's as much of an insult as people thought it was. 40th to 50. This is a lot of good players in this group here. All NBA caliber players. Randall, Sabonis have been on all NBA teams. Draymond Green, a multi-time champion, former defensive player of the year. Drew Holiday, high-level role player. Tyler Hero, first-time All-Star. LaMelo Ball, a former All-Star, is capable of great highs. Fox, like, there's a lot of good players in the 40th to 50th range. And so I don't think it's insulting to say that about Ja Morant. And I think it's also completely fair to say there's a chance he rises way back up the boards. I've had him on my rankings as high as, I think, 11 or 12 at his peaks. I think I had him at 18 or 19 entering last season. But he's got to prove it.
This, I'm a big Aaron Gordon supporter, but 32, that's too much gas. He's a solid role player, but to put him above,
that's the one you have the most issues with. Aaron Gordon.
I'm having problems with that one
because 45% from three, elite defense.
He had a great season.
Passer, selfless.
Great season.
Aaron Gordon is awesome.
He's not better than Tyrese Maxey, Darius Garland, De'Aaron Fox. Doma. I don't know. I don't mind this tier. I just think that, it's very subjective. Move a couple guys around. I just think that my problem with it is that you're holding the health and injury concerns and the availability against Ja. You can't have Kawhi and Joel Embiid that high in your tiers list
it's not just
if that's a qualifier. If that's a qualifier, they can't be that high.
But Embiid. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. Embiid can be the number one player in the world when he's at his best. Ja Morant cannot. Embiid won an MVP before. Kawhi Leonard is a multi-time champion, and when he's at his best, he is unstoppable and still a high-level defender. Ja Morant at his best in the postseason was 3 years ago when we saw him have a great start to the series against the Warriors, and then he got hurt and has never really reached those peaks again ever since. Ja, I want to see it again. And until I see it again, at least we saw it recently with Kawhi. We saw it recently with Embiid, at least within the last 2 years. At least within the last 2 years.
Bro, Embiid's defense last year was atrocious.
Okay,
he doesn't rebound. He's a cone on defense. When he played 50? When he played 50 games?
I'm 39. I just saw.
Come on, man. Like he ain't playing no games.
Okay, all right.
Like
Maybe I
when they
have
get to the
Embiid too
playoffs,
high.
it's a different thing.
Maybe Embiid in 22 is too high. Maybe it is.
No,
But I don't think
I'm
it means
actually
that Ja's too low. I think it
no,
means
it
Embiid
doesn't.
might be too high.
I'm also kind of messing with you. Like I know the talent of Joel and Ja are on two different levels. They're in different planes.
Yes.
However, I still feel like you could still be a little bit too low on Ja. And I think that's just what it is. Like I think Ja is a very polarizing player because he has all the highlights. He hasn't developed his 3-pointer. His defense is questionable. But he has the superstar potential that I think is driving his talent and his perception around the league as being really good. So I don't think it's actually that much of a slight to say he's not a top 50 player. The fact that you're still even in the conversation of being one of the top 50 players, despite all your injuries, is still a pretty good compliment.
Yeah.
I think he does have some proving to do. He does have some show, like he needs to show it in the playoffs. He needs to win a couple of series. He needs to stay out of trouble. All the optics surrounding Ja, that's what comes with it. And I think that's probably why you're also a little bit more down on it. But
Yeah.
I think he has the path to, if he can stay healthy, which is a big if, to revitalize his career and still be, top 20 player in this league.